Joining me right now is Louisiana Congressman, House Minority Whip Steve Scalise. Congressman, it is wonderful to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being with us. You demonstrated the president's call for unity, bridging former DNC chairwoman Donna Brazile as your guest. That was your guest for the inauguration. Why did you choose to bring Donna Brazile? I didn't know you were so close with Donna Brazile.
Yeah, Maria, first, good to be with you. Good to see you this new year. But I've known Donna for a long time. She's from New Orleans. We actually both went to LSU. We do not see eye to eye on politics. We have some pretty interesting, spirited discussions about that. But we've just gotten to build a friendship over years. And she had reached out, asked if I had an extra ticket, and I did. And so I thought it would be important to invite her. And I know how much it meant to her. And we'll share our political differences, but we actually have a respect for each other. And and we can get through those differences, and hopefully everybody can.
Well, that was a great message that you put out there just by bringing her as your guest. Do you think that we will see unity? How does Joe Biden achieve this, given the fact that in about 3 seconds we're going to see an impeachment trial over a former president? Joe Biden could get involved and say, stop this, Chuck Schumer. Let's not go forward with this. He is also reversing a lot of President Trump's plans that were in place and his policies. How can he create unity, if you will?
Yeah, ultimately, Maria, it's going to be the actions that President Biden takes. And, he could show a big step towards that unity by telling the Senate that this is not an impeachment's not something good for the country, that we need to turn the page and start focusing on helping hardworking families. That's really what every day should be about. People are struggling. We need to get our economy safely reopened, get our schools safely reopened, and get people back on track. And that's going to take us working together. I don't think it was a good first step to reverse the Keystone Pipeline, to get back in the Paris Accord, to halt the construction of our border wall at a time when you've got a caravan coming towards our southern border. The things that happened on the first day are going to only increase costs on families. I mean, Keystone alone and Paris Accord would dramatically increase household electricity costs that would hit lowest income workers the hardest. That's not the direction we need to go. But there are areas where we can come together and really focusing on turning the page on coronavirus, getting the vaccine even more widely distributed. It was President Trump's Operation Warp Speed that created not one but 2 vaccines, and we're vaccinating about 800,000 people a day. Let's keep increasing that number to the point where everyone who wants to be vaccinated can get a vaccination, and then that leads to completely opening our economy, not just in some states, but in every state. Those are the areas where we have a lot of ability to work together. He's going to have to take that step as well. We're ready to do those things with him, but ultimately working together, toning down the rhetoric, not continuing to fight the political battles of the past with another impeachment. Let's actually focus on the things that we can work together on that help hardworking families. That's where our focus needs to be, Maria.
So the GOP, obviously you and your colleagues were very successful in the election. You gained so many seats and you came ever so close to the majority, but you're still in the minority. Karl Rove's has a new op-ed in the Wall Street Journal titled "The Republican Future Starts Now," asking where the Republican Party goes from here following the election. Of course, you've got tensions within the Democrat Party continuing to simmer as progressive Democrats try to push their agenda on this new administration. First, talk to us about the future of the GOP, Congressman. You've got division right now as well. Look at Liz Cheney leading the effort for the impeachment, and a lot of your colleagues didn't want that at all.
Look, I mean, we're going to come back together. We're having these conversations right now, and it's conversations between members of Congress. That's how you resolve those differences. And look, there's a lot of talk about, what our party is going to look like going forward. But frankly, I'm very bullish on the future of the Republican Party because not only have our principles worked, I mean, if you look at the things we did to get regulations under control, to get tax rates under control by lowering rates for everybody, we had the hottest economy in the history of our country, and it was working for everybody. Maria, the lowest income levels were benefiting the most. We were rebuilding our middle class. That's where our focus needs to continue to be, lowering health insurance costs, getting more competition in healthcare, not government-controlled healthcare. So there's a lot of contrast between where you see the farthest left elements of the Democratic Party wanting to take them and President Biden versus where we want to go to create opportunity for everybody. There should be a great debate on school choice right now, Maria. When you've got some school systems taking your money but not educating your kids in the classroom, a lot of parents for the first time are going, wait a minute, those Republicans keep talking about me having the option to take my child and go somewhere else where they're willing to educate them in person.
Yep.
Maybe I need to look at that idea again. We need to be talking about these things, and we're going to. Not only being against bad ideas from the socialist left, which they're pushing, but showing a really good conservative alternative.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up school choice. That could not be more important. And, you know, mothers and fathers watching us right now have a real interest in seeing school choice. And so we'll see what the administration does. They're saying, how come we're giving all this money to the education and the teachers, and they're not even at school? They're at home. I mean, come on.
Union heads are
you and your colleagues did a great job with the tax.
Your kid can't go to school.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Look, this is all going to come to a head in the next election. You know that in 2022. Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney, I mentioned her a minute ago as the leader of this impeachment trial. She now has a primary challenger for the 2022 election. After voting to impeach the president, President Trump, Wyoming State Senator Anthony Bouchard filing a statement of candidacy yesterday as several Republicans are calling for Cheney to be removed from her leadership post in terms of chairman of the conference. What's your take on this?
You know, look, I've talked personally to Liz, and clearly you've heard some of our members who say they want to remove her. I'm not in that camp. I think this is an internal discussion that we're having and that we're going to work through. And, you know, she's talking to members herself, and I think that's where it needs to be. We're going to have a full conference meeting where we as House Republicans all get together. And that's where we resolve these differences. Again, you've seen it going on the Democrat side where they're having a huge struggle on their side. The socialists are being very vocal. But on our side, we're going to have some discussions, but we're going to come back together. And then we're going to focus on the things we need to do to fight for hardworking families. That's where the next 2 years is really going to be determined and won. I think we're on the right side of that battle, and families want the kind of conservative policies that work for them.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day, Congressman.
Great seeing you.
Come back soon.
Thank you. Take care, Maria.